Hey, everybody, we're going to officially get started in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, if you'll use the chat box to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, maybe city and state, and then tell us what you hope to get out of today's session. That'll help frame our delivery for you. I'll try to put that in the chat. Introduce yourself. Where you are. See lots of familiar faces. There we go. Great. If you just join, if you'll introduce yourself in the chat box, add your city, your state, and what you hope to get out of the session, we'd appreciate it. Oh, see so many familiar names and faces. Some of our affiliate leaders, past presenters. Well, hi, Terry. Great. That's fine, Doreen. Santa, California is representing. Did I see Shanika pop in there? Yep. Hi, Shanika. Perfect. Oh, Kate, hi. Great. JC, do you think we're good to start?
I do, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Welcome, everybody, to the How to Become an NAA25 Presenter information session. I'm Heidi Ham. I work as NAA's Chief Operating Officer, and I'm excited to be here with you and members of our convention team today. And so I'll give a shout out right off the top to team members Jennifer Caldwell and Terry Ferendi, and turn it over to Jennifer so she can share more about today's session.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jennifer Caldwell, and I'm on the NAA convention team handling the call for presenters process, or what we call it the CFP process and portal for this year. We are recording this session, and we'll post the link to the recording and the slides to the CFP homepage after we're finished. And here's a little bit about what we're going to go over today. A review of NAA's mission, the theme for NAA25, discuss some considerations for you to think about for your proposals, what you need to have ready to submit, ready before you submit your proposal, and then we'll outline what happens after you submit, the timeline, and what to expect, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers at the end of this. And I'm going to turn it back over to Heidi to speak about
short but sweet. So just want to highlight a little bit about NAA. NAA is the professional membership association for people who work with and then also for youth during out of school time. So we have some folks that work directly with young people and some people that have dual responsibilities and direct service and supervision. And then we have lots of folks that work on behalf of youth in out of school time. And we are the leading national network of OST professionals. The mission and vision at NAA, we see that as not only ours, but also yours, because together we share a mutual purpose of OST program quality. We all know the importance of OST professionals, so we're working on fostering positive youth outcomes by supporting, developing, and advocating for OST professionals and leaders. In addition to our national presence, we have 35 mission-aligned state affiliates supporting OST professionals and OST nationwide. Shout out to our affiliates that are on the call. At NAA, we have 4 strategic focus areas. You'll see 3 of them listed on the screen. They are field leadership, advocacy, professional development. And last and certainly not least, one of the most important strategic focus areas is community, working on creating a safe and inclusive community that provides opportunities for sharing, for learning, and for growth. This mission is deployed through, we have people-centered programs, we have partnerships, we're building equity, building access, and building connections, all toward creating a strong, valued profession that benefits kids, families, and communities. Our communications and convention are two of the biggest ways that we create community. As an organization, NAA is more than a conference. It's a convention and it's a community. When I first became involved with NAA, I was a program administrator for before and after school programs, and our colleagues would ask like, oh, are you going to NAA this year? Are you going to NAA? And people still say, are you going to NAA? Which also, I mean, it really kind of cracks me up because it's not just a conference. We're a whole organization, a convention, and a community. So you may wonder why we call it a convention and not a conference. And it's a really big deal to us and the folks that we work with, that we address this as a convention. It's because we're a membership organization with delegates. And so our delegates are our members and our state affiliates who come together, meeting at least once a year, that's convention, to show their support for a mutual purpose. And in this case, that's OST and OST professionals. For 2025 convention, we're inviting OST professionals to celebrate the people, potential, and possibilities of OST. The convention will be held from March 9th through 12th, 2025. We'll be at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center in Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, y'all. Whoop, whoop. Join us, and we're hoping thousands of talented OST and after-school professionals. We're going to recognize and honor the worth and potential within every individual, whether they're in our community, whether our OST professional community, whether they're back home in our communities, kids, families, everybody, and the potential that they bring. We will unlock a world of endless possibilities by truly valuing people for who they are and acknowledging their unique talents, strengths, and dreams. The convention really is about way more than just sharing best practices or discussing innovative approaches, which of course we will do, but it's about fostering a culture of empowerment where every interaction, every program, and every initiative is really rooted in the belief that everyone can thrive. So if you will engage with us a little bit here and take a look at this convention logo and tell us in the chat what resonates with you when you look at the logo and hear the theme. Excitement. Same. New ideas. Potential. Connection. Thanks, Amani. Bursting and expanding. Ooh, love that, Lindsay. Thank you. Gratitude, of course. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Innovation. Wow. That's fulfilling, human-centered, right? It's cool to like work on the team that helps come up with the theme, and Kate, who's on the call today with her design, really bring it alive and hear how it resonates with people. How cool, how cool. When thinking about the convention, having an idea of the overall schedule is really helpful. So this schedule is on the screen. It will also be displayed in the recording, not for you to memorize, but just for you to have an idea of the overall schedule before submitting your proposal. You can see that the convention officially starts at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, March 9th, and it goes through noon on Wednesday, March 12th. We'll have 3 general sessions and an estimated 170 sessions throughout the 4 days that we're together. we like to describe our convention presenters as everyday yet exceptional people. They are professionals who have lived experience, people who have triumphed over challenges, people who have the potential and are really ready to share the possibilities with others. See what I did there with the theme? Did you catch that? If this sounds like you, this is your chance to celebrate the people, potential, and possibilities of after school in an NAA25 session. So let's dive deeper into what we're looking for 2025. As always, we are seeking diverse content, formats, and presenters to provide engaged learning experiences. So presenters should be able to share the best possible experiences to elevate the field. They should be able to center and engage participants. I think that was one of the notes that came through in the chat about the theme. Presenters should be able to give participants knowledge, tools, resources, and strategies they need to elevate their programs, their careers, and approach to their work. Of course, provide access to handouts, links, and the resources that I already mentioned. And finally, presenters should come to convention preparing to share. And what do I mean by that? If you think about it, for every person at convention, thousands more back home aren't getting the experience that you'll be getting at convention. And you can support all of the OST professionals in the field by presenting your sessions, if accepted, in a way that participants get it and can pass it along to their team members after convention. So looking at this list, let's check in again through the chat. How does this list on the screen, this list of presenter goals, align with your goals? How does this list align with your goals? PD, yes, professional development. Whoop, whoop. Nice. Thanks, Amani. Oh, aligns with your department strategy. How cool is that? Nice. Centering participants. I see a theme here. Yes. Awesome. 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 Now back to you, Jennifer.
All right, so now we want to review some of the considerations when you're getting things to think about when you're getting ready to submit. Reviewing our overall key dates, the portal and the submission process is open. It opened on September 9th, and all proposals are due on Monday by midnight on October 21st. We will notify all submitters and presenters by November 15th of the status. All accepted presenters must register by December 14th in order to confirm the presentation. That is also the date that the discounts you'll be eligible for if you're accepted are available until. So a primary presenter rate is $380. I'll go over this again. And co-presenter is $580. We are going to hold a presenter webinar in early February and an office hour in early March. The dates for both of those will be posted on the CFP homepage, and we'll send reminders to all the presenters. All right, I'll turn it back to you, Heidi.
Oh, sorry, I was in the chat answering questions. So I mentioned already that NAA is seeking diverse content, diverse formats, and presenters to provide engaged learning experiences. And there are five different session formats for you to choose from. There are two that are 60 minutes each. So there's the standard interactive workshop format, that's 60 minutes. And then we have another special offering. It's called Community Conversations. This is really a different type of session where participants spend time in either small or large group conversations about a specific critical topic. The sessions need skilled facilitators. The facilitators introduce the topic and then set the stage for discussion rather than imparting information to participants. So this is really an opportunity opportunity for folks to come together and discuss a critical topic, share ideas, commiserate, all the things that we like to do when we are together with colleagues. But this is called a community conversation, and it's less about the presenter imparting content and information and more about facilitating a discussion with the participants. We also have the 2-hour leadership intensives. Those are deep dives for emerging and experienced leaders. And that content is focused on the core knowledge and competency, or core knowledge, skills, and competencies strands 6 through 10, and those I think are shown on the screen. And then we have 2 shorter sessions. One is the Sparks, which are 30-minute informational presentations with key takeaways. So this is different than a workshop where it's super interactive. This is a session that people know they're coming to just to hear 30 minutes of information from the presenter who's an expert in the topic and come to get key takeaways. And finally, the story showcases. And I'm going to have Terry Frindy, she's our NAA25 story showcase coach, share more about the story showcases.
Thanks so much, Heidi. Hello, everyone. Great to see you all. I am so excited again to be coaching the story showcases. It's really an inspiring part of what we do at convention. And this is where, as Heidi said, we really raise and lift the voices of the members to tell your story. They may be simple, they may be complicated, they may be funny, whatever it is. What's most important is that these story showcases are authentic, that they come from the heart, that they're kind of really drawing from your experience in your life to help others kind of reflect on an idea or a concept. They really need to be tied to the theme, the people, potential possibilities. You can start to imagine we'll build this theme throughout each general session. So really specifically tying your story to that theme will be really important. And then constructed, and that really just kind of connects to this idea of it's 7 minutes. You can't tell your whole life story. So really shaping your showcase to be around a key idea, a key moment, a key aha that you have had based on your work and lived experience. I am going to put in the chat here a link to NAA's YouTube channel, and there you can see the story showcases from last year, which will just help give you a sense of some kind of stories that were successful in the past. I do want to say, in terms of applying for it, the process is just slightly different than what Jennifer described. The deadlines are the same, but in your first version, you go through the process just like any other workshop to do a little written description. What's really most important in that written description is that you kind of convey the theme connection, how this ties to the theme, and then your core concept. So, I'm planning to do my showcase about, if you saw last year, one of our fellows had worked on a farm, how the lessons from a farm apply to my work and out of school time learning. Like, I quickly was able to grasp what Tavon was about to present about. That's kind of a gate. And then we invite you to do a video that would be due right before Thanksgiving. Informal, holding on your phone. It should not be overly produced, that's where we really get a sense of, your presentation style. We ask you to play out that concept a little bit more, and then you would get notified in December before that registration deadline as well. I'm happy to talk more or less about it, Heidi, but that's my starting point.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I want to bring up about the story showcases is I think that there have been times in the past where people have thought they need some story of hardship, right? And that is fine if that's your story, but there are also lessons of joy and things that you learn, things that are humorous that have happened throughout your career or throughout your life. And as long as there is a story to tell with with a lesson learned, those are all great. Great stories. So Terry, we appreciate you jumping on to talk to us about this. And of course, all of your work that goes into the, coaching the story showcase presenters. The story showcases have really become one of my favorite parts of convention. But now I have to talk about the session strands.
Well,
Come
and
on.
just
Oh,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing, just one more
Yeah.
thing on the coaching. The other thing that's super important is to say you don't have to be a professional speaker. So as what Heidi just said, it should be authentic and really your story, and then we'll help you get to the speaking part. So in the applications, we're looking for enthusiasm, excitement, like just again that authenticity. But that's my job, is to get you from idea to stage. So don't feel like if you've never done it before, you shouldn't apply.
Great. Thanks, Terry. So like I said, I'm going to share more about the session strands. The strands are modeled on our core knowledge, skills, and competencies for OST professionals. And those content areas are listed on the screen. All of the session proposals, regardless of which type you're submitting, must fit into one of these content areas, and you need to select which one during the submission process. We understand that some sessions will span multiple content areas. You just need to pick the primary one and you'll be fine. Don't try to overthink it and put it in a bunch of different categories. Just think about where it might best fit based on the definitions, and those are linked on in the the NAA25 website presenters page. Organizing the strands this way helps recognize and reinforce the importance of convention in developing these essential knowledge, skills, and competencies OST professionals need, and one of the ways that we maintain professionalization within our field. Along with those core knowledge, skills, and competencies and their content area strands that align with them, your proposal and session should align with one of the CKSC audiences. You can see those audiences listed on this slide here. So it's either identify, and that's content that's knowledge-based, or in other words, what someone needs to know about a topic. So knowledge-based, excuse me. And then we have apply, that's skill-based content. The session will help participants learn how to show the topic in practice. So it goes knowledge, practice, and then amplify. This is really about influencing others on various topics. It can be influencing through professional development, through policy development, or advocacy. So this is really about amplifying specific messages to make change either in practice or professional development, policies, and advocacy. Keep in mind, not many of our participants work only in direct service, because we all know that the direct service staff can't get off work to come to 3 days of convention, right? No. Really, many work with young people and have some supervisory or management responsibilities as well. So keep that in mind when you are choosing your audience. JC, do you want to talk about the room sets?
Yep, thank you. So in this application form or submission form, you will have to choose your preferred room set. There'll be 3 options to choose from: theater, rounds, and then we will offer a limited number of open sets for active sessions. That would be an open room area with chairs around the perimeter of the room. It's not guaranteed, but this is your preference, and we almost always can accommodate your request, but it's not guaranteed. We will notify you, and I'll talk about this later by January, so you're aware. All rooms will be set for approximately 80 people. Some will have a little more and some will have a little less. Participants do not sign up for sessions. It's going to be first come, first served at the convention. You'll also want to indicate audiovisual if you'll need audiovisual for your session. If you do need audiovisual, we will provide a projector, an HDMI cable, and a screen. The things you would need to bring on your own would be your laptop, a power plug, connection or adapter to be able to connect to the HDMI cable, a slide advancer, handouts, resources, and business cards. If you don't have those, the things that you'd be able to purchase through an audiovisual order form that we will give you in the process, you could order laptops, the slide advancers, microphones, flip charts, markers, and the microphones, generally, the rooms are a size that people do not need to have a microphone. So keep that in mind. Turn it back to you, Heidi.
Thanks. All of the proposed sessions are reviewed using a rubric that is designed for convention. This is like teaching to the test, helping helping you submit a proposal that will help us make the best decisions about the content. The rubric is shown on the screen. It's available on the convention website, so it's not a secret rubric. You can see how we'll be evaluating the proposals. We're looking for proposals that are specific and focused on issues of immediate relevance. So things that are immediately relevant and of high importance to either out of school time, after school, are relevant to the goals and initiatives of NAA. So our strategic focus areas that I mentioned earlier, the core knowledge and competencies. So all of these things, they're not necessarily captured here, but things to keep in mind as you're putting forth your proposal. Think about a topic that will fill a room. The session should have a powerful title that clarifies the topic, elicits excitement, and piques interest in reading the session description. So that title that you submit will be in the app and on the schedule and should elicit this excitement and pique interest to get people to read the description. And then you should add in your proposal the session description. And all of these you'll see this when you get in there if you haven't already, that these are just questions that you answer to help put the proposal together. So the session description needs to be clear. It should be compelling. It should be engaging. A description that makes people want to attend. And again, this is published for the participants to help them choose which sessions to go to. Your proposal should also explain the session plan and how your session will build participant capacity within your allotted time. So what are you going to do and what are participants going to do during the session? What's the plan? And the rubric items on the slide, they're not going to be shared with, like, your scores aren't going to be shared with the public, but will just be used in the proposal review process. And it's your best chance. This proposal is your best chance to show your expertise to our review team. So you can see exactly what we're evaluating the proposals on. So I just shared what we're looking for in proposals, and as you prepare, you should really know what participants are looking for. I'm assuming that lots of you have been participants either at convention or at other different conferences. So take a minute to review this slide. And then if you'll call out in the chat which things speak to you, whether they're things that, yes, participants want, or things that they absolutely don't want. Read this, call it out in the chat. Excuse me. Sessions are too basic. Engagement and resources, variety of methods. Thanks, Eric, Patricia. Thanks, Rasha, Ron. Yeah. Of course, Amani, like tools to take home, takeaways. Oh, Shanika, sessions that are boring. No, we don't want any of those. And I'm sure you're not making those, Shanika. Balance of smart. Interesting. Cool. Thanks, y'all. Jennifer, can you share more specifics about the proposal submission process now?
Yes. So again, to be considered, you have to have your proposal in on the deadline that we've discussed, October 21st. And you have to have the following ready. So all sessions will have at least one presenter, and there can be no more than 2 co-presenters. In the submission form, you'll need to have all the information for your co-presenters as well, whoever's submitting the proposal. That will include their title, organization, email, city, state, and their bio, as well as their headshot. And the square size photo is best to populate in the app. And again, all the information that you're putting in for speakers will populate the app. To make sure it's accurate, and this is your opportunity to impress. Heidi went over most of this, but you will have to enter the session title. There's a 10-word max for that. So just keep it short and sweet. For the description, it's 150-word max. And again, the session title and the description will be on the website and in the mobile app. If you're selected, that will populate. So be very careful when you're doing those 2 fields. The session plan, and again, Heidi went through with the rubric, but that would be a 200-word max. And the presenter experience and expertise. Again, that will not be published. That's just for review only, but share how your presenters are uniquely qualified to lead the session and include their relevant experience in the field. And that is a 200-word max for that field. Once you're ready to submit the proposal, you're going to log into our portal. Here's just a screenshot of what that looks like. On this homepage, there's a link for the instructions on how to submit. So I recommend that you click on that. That opens in a separate tab, so you can have that up while you're going through the submission process. We will not accept any submissions by email. They must be submitted through this portal. Again, it closes on midnight on Monday, October 21st. You do not have to complete your proposal in one sitting. It will save and you can go back to it. If you submit it before the deadline and you want to go back and make edits, you can do that. Edits can be made up until the deadline and the cutoff of Monday, October 21st. We've included in this PowerPoint, which we'll add to the CFP homepage, an example of a topic session example of last year's convention. So I'm not going to read through that, but you can go back and review this in the slides. So after you submit, you're going to receive a confirmation email that we've received your proposal. If you don't receive that confirmation email within 24 hours, please check your spam folder. And if you still don't see it, please email. I'm behind the presenters at NAA25.org email. So just email me if you have any questions and you just need to confirm. Again, you can make the edits up until the deadline date. We will notify everyone of the status of their submission by November 15th, whether you're accepted or declined. We're just reviewing the deadlines again for registration. For all accepted presentations, presenters must register by December 14th. That confirms your participation as a presenter, and it confirms your session at the convention. You will be eligible for the discounts. A lead presenter can get the discount of $380, again, registering by December 14th, and a co-presenter will get the discount of $580 until December 14th. You must cover all travel, lodging, and your own travel expenses on your own. And you must plan to attend the entire convention. Confirmed presenters will receive their presentation days and times in January. We cannot accommodate scheduling requests or work around pre-booked flights. So just keep that in mind to plan to be there the entire time. There's 170 sessions, so we can't, accommodate any requests. And again, just a reminder that AV room sets, you'll put them in. We will confirm that again in January, but and they're not guaranteed. All right, and now we want to open it up for questions.
So I've been answering some in the chat, but this one, Shanika apparently is asking for a friend. If someone registers at the early bird rate and then they get accepted, will they receive a discount? So if you're submitting a presentation, anybody that submits a proposal are eligible for that discounted rate up until December 15th. So if you know that you are going to submit a proposal, don't register until you hear back from us in November. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, if you're the lead presenter and submit it as a lead presenter, don't register until you hear from us on November 15th. That way you can get that discount. If
Right.
it's a co-presenter, it's the same as the early birds, so you can go ahead and register at any time. It doesn't matter, but for leads, I would wait.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I got that slightly wrong. Same idea. So any other questions in the chat that we see that we're missing? You're welcome, Denise. Yeah. Other questions that you want to put in the chat, or if anybody wants to come off mute and or raise their hand, we can call on you and do it the old-fashioned way. Questions? Right. So Ron's asking, what was amplify? Anyone want to answer that in the chat? So identify was a knowledge base. If you pick amplify, what's that one? Anyone? Nobody? Boy, I'm an excellent teacher, clearly. Thanks, Enrique. Enrique said policy or breakfast, best practices. So this is really anybody that's going to advocate or teach somebody else to amplify whatever the content is to other groups of people besides kids, right? So one of the questions in that I saw was about a specific curriculum and which if they're teaching people how to use this hip hop dance program with kids, it could be apply, right? Or if they're teaching it so that people can go back and teach other people to use the curriculum, it would be amplified. Really just the best. Yes, thanks, Stephanie. Train the trainer, multiply the impact of the content, be a multiplier. Yeah. And we just need your best estimation of which one it is. We don't really ticky-tacky that. Tina, do you want to
Sure.
ask a question?
So I was encouraged to do this by my state evaluator for a 21st century program. Because we're doing stuff no other 21st century program is doing in Alaska by including CTE intensives in our programming for our 9-12 population. So I'm not quite sure where that's going to fit because it's a combination of like my knowledge of vocational education, finding those resources, whether they're community-based or whether they're from another school, and then negotiating prices, curriculum, and then putting that into practice to get kids either a certification or at least some life skills that they can take with them. So I'm not quite sure
Are you asking which core knowledge and competency content area or which level?
Yeah, which competency level? Because it's kind of a little bit level.
Yeah, I think apply or amplify, either of those
Okay.
would be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay, Paula.
Thank you, Heidi. I'm following up on the example you gave. We have hip hop based toolkits for health education lessons in K-5 mostly. And I haven't been to the conference before, but based on what you're saying, I was just wondering if anyone has an opinion about where the biggest gap is in terms of whether it's amplify or apply. But because it sounds like you may be saying there's more need for people who can turnkey. Or I'm not sure you said more,
My
but I
opinion-
was just trying to.
I think either one is fine. And like I said, we just want your best estimation so that we can try to make a balance of levels for the different people that are there. Most of the time that does not make or break whether your proposal is chosen. If
Okay,
that,
sure. Thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else? Hands raised. Any questions for Terry about the story showcases? Okay,
They were pretty amazing last year.
they really were. And the year before, and the year before that. Never disappoint, never disappoint. I see Enrique smiling. You were up there. Shanika was up there as a host, talking about gumbo recipes. So, okay, anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
I had a question on the chat.
Okay.
I think it like years like I'm talking about New York, like way back 2018, 19.
Pre-pandemic, Enrique. What are you
Right.
doing to us?
We you all used to have like the catalog of the trainings and kind of like the program schedule and like identify what like if you depending on the type of job you're doing in OST, right? Like you attend the sessions
Yeah.
that were more pertaining to you if you direct program staff. And I didn't see that in the app last year, so I might have missed it.
So, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. And I was just wondering if like that's like again the plan for
Yeah,
it.
so, and maybe our team can make some kind of how-tos for the app, but it's about going into the app and then selecting, there's places to select different filter criteria, and that helps narrow down the types of things that you're looking for. You can do it by strand, you can do it by speaker, you can do it by time, you can do it, I think, also by those 3 levels. So it's not exactly the same because it's not in paper, but it's
Right.
in the app so that you can sort and filter. And I don't know, Enrique, if you still have your app from last year, you might want to go
I
fiddle
remember that
around with it a little bit.
I remember it had like different color codes, but I just like I had
Yeah.
some trouble navigating through it.
Yeah.
And I'm asking because like our work is intermediary,
For a
most
friend.
likely. Um, right. Our work is intermediary, and if I submit a proposal, will probably be like for intermediary work, right? Like I think
Intermediaries, yeah.
frontline staff will probably don't have like much to learn from what I could share other than join your intermediary. So I was just wondering if like that's the best way to kind of like
Yeah, I think
promote it or
intermediary work would probably be likely in the higher numbers on the core knowledge and competencies. So probably from equity to program development, professional development, and leadership development. So if you pick one of those for one of the, I think the bottom 4, 6 through 10, you're likely to hit the intermediary folks. And also make sure that you write your description for who would benefit from
Right.
it. And then, so for the 6 through 10 on the content areas, and then pick amplify on the level. And then I think we'll get, and then write it in the description, and that'll get you the audience that you're looking for, I think.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, we are going to stop the recording, and you're welcome to get off if some people might be